Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our weekly baseball betting update show that we do with Doug Upstone. Today is July 3rd, and we're going to take another look at current futures odds to win the World Series and each pennant. Right now, we're going to start with the American League. Doug, thanks for being back with us.
Peter, my pleasure to be back, and got the big holiday weekend here. I'm dressed for it, nice and comfortable, relaxed. And we'll let's see what these futures look like in the American League.
Absolutely. Well, you've always had great style on our videos, and you've also given us shockingly accurate advice, for a long period of time. So I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. These futures odds were more just sort of like feeling out how the teams are doing. There's a lot we don't know, but we'll start with the American League, and Oakland and Detroit are still the two favorites to win the American League pennant, both I think at about 3-1. The best team, though, with the best record in all of baseball for the past 2 months has been Seattle. And right now, to win the American League, I'm seeing odds of about 15-1 to win the American League pennant. Now, I know, at full strength, Oakland, I'm sure we would rate higher than Seattle, but still, you got to give Seattle credit for what they've done. And at 15-1, are they maybe the best value on the board?
You know what, Peter? In the article that I wrote for SBR Forum, that is exactly what the team that I put down as the best long shot.
All right, but I guess what people are thinking is it possible these past 2 months have been some kind of fluke and that, they played over their heads a little bit, they'll come crashing down to earth, and that actually they don't have any value at 15-1 to win the American League East? To win the American League?
Actually, no, I don't think so at all. I think this team, if you look at the numbers, they're number one in the American League in ERA, and their pitching is second in on-base percentage allowed and OPS allowed, so that's really good. And then you look at their hitting now, they're getting some other guys besides Robinson Cano that are starting to hit the ball. And the key factor that I've mentioned all year long in these videos, Seattle is now 20-8 in games decided by 4 more runs, so that means that they have the pitching to contain the opponent and the offense to put them away. The other aspect here that you wonder about, of course, in terms of a long shot, is their inexperience in any postseason play. Nevertheless, in terms of a long shot, I think Seattle certainly holds some tremendous value.
All right, and what's your take on Oakland? I know they've skidded a little bit in the immediate past few games. They do have a few injuries on offense, but I'm assuming that when they get full strength, they will, they'll be the best team in the American League East. Although, their pitching has kind of, Jesse Chavez and Sonny Gray have started to come a lot back down to earth, and that's probably where they'll land. I don't think they'll go back up to how they were pitching earlier in the year.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. They're still the best team in baseball, and when you look at their run differential, if you take the next two teams, which are Seattle and the Los Angeles Angels, their number still isn't as high combined as what Oakland is. But your point is exactly right on, is that if you're looking at futures bets, one of the questions you have to ask yourself about to win the American League, does Oakland have enough top-line pitching? They seemingly, at this point, seem to be built more for the regular season than for the postseason. And if you look at like what Detroit did to them, for example, you have to wonder certainly a little bit.
Yeah, Seattle, Felix Hernandez could easily throw, shut out a one-run game every game in the playoffs and World Series. And if this youngster Taijuan Walker and a couple of the other guys get hot, Seattle could be virtually unhittable in the playoffs.
Exactly. They're tough, and that ballpark is conducive to not having many runs scored in it also. So, yeah, if they would happen to meet up, that would certainly be interesting, and that's what makes Seattle a pretty fascinating long shot.
All right, so our official value play as of July 3rd to win the American League is Seattle. What odds do you have on them?
I have that. Actually, I have it at plus 1750 was the last time I looked. And I'd also like to throw in, absolutely forget about the New York Yankees.
Right.
They're fourth, I believe, in the American League. Throw them out the window, They're 41-42. They just played 15 straight division games. They lost 9, and of which of the 15, 12 of them were at home. They're minus 37 in run differential, and you look at the other similar teams in the American League that have that, they're all 8 or 9 games below 500. How the Yankees are even in consideration for a playoff spot from a betting standpoint is ludicrous. I would definitely not consider the Yankees in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's amazing how off, at least on paper, these futures markets can appear because, like you said, Seattle plus 1750 to win the American League East, and I'm assuming that the Yankees are less than 10-1.
880 was the last I saw.
Unbelievable. All right, well, yeah, I think we've identified some value here. Doug Upstone, thanks so much.